What is up, guys? This is Tristan, and today we are going over how to close high-ticket pressure washing jobs. Not the 300, not the 400, the $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 tickets, step by step, the exact process that at least I have leveraged to be able to do that. And so maybe you guys can kind of emulate this process and be able to go out there and do it yourself. So let's get to it. Okay, this is something that I just legitimately kind of created an outline for you guys to be able to leverage this for new clients. It is called the IBR Quity Method. I don't see anybody else talking about this or absolutely anything. I know that this is original because I just kind of made this up, but this is just the absolute outline, step by step, on what you can do whenever you're going to an estimate and close that thing. Spit on that thing, you know what I'm saying? But hey, IBR Quity Method, I'm actually going to hop on the mic and be able to describe this a lot better. So let's get to it.
Okay, guys, so let's go over the IBR Quity Method. Essentially, I put the IBR split into one half and then the Quity into the other half. Let's go over the IBR real quick because I would argue that this is the most important part of this. And then the Quity is, you'll see in a quick second. But the IBR is the first initial impression. So the I stands for you have to go in person, because this is far more effective than doing this via digital, because it is a people buying people. This is a relationship building business, and you want to be able to basically put an individual with the face of the business, because if you just send out a digital estimate, the chances of that closing go substantially lower. It goes substantially lower. So make sure that you're always going in person for the estimate. Make sure that you are dressing correctly. Make sure that you don't look like a bum. Make sure that you don't have this persona of somewhat kind of ghetto. You want to make sure that you are professional, that you know your stuff, and that you look the part as well as talk the part, okay? The B is breaking the ice. So you go over there in your truck, you're breaking the ice, the first freaking thing. And you can get very creative with this stuff, because something that I like to do, and this is just a creative idea, but I bring a bubble gun out every single time. Basically, it breaks the ice. I want to make sure that they smile. The first thing is getting them to smile, because if you make sure that they are smiling, it gives a good first impression that this is at least going to be somewhat fun. This is going to be a happy experience rather than just dull and serious and because this is something that I truly believe by, is that if you can make them feel really, really well, and if you can make sure that they can smile, they're more likely to believe in you. Absolutely. So I like putting a bubble gun. Here's like a video of it. You can do a cartwheel. You can, crack a joke, whatever it is, but you have to break the ice initially. That first impression is so important. Think about The Bachelor, right? They always bring out like some creative visual, or they're driving a car, or they're in a cowboy suit. I'm not saying you have to do that, but just to basically get that first impression of them. This is the first impression rose. Maybe it's a bad correlation, but I think it's very, very important. So the third thing is relatability and rapport. So when you get there and you're breaking the ice, do not talk about washing just initially. You can do this two ways. So you can do this via preparation, which I think is actually probably the most important thing. If you prepare and you know exactly who you're talking to, you can find their mutual interest. And then ultimately you want to talk about that as one of the first main points of the in-person estimate. I'm just going over this briefly because this is the stuff that closes freaking jobs, guys. Make sure that you do your preparation of the individual that you're talking to, find mutual interest, and talk at least in context via that mutual interest, whether that's like the Dallas Cowboys, or whether that's their college, or whether that's a sport that they like, or whatever it is that you guys can at least mutually agree upon. It allows you to build rapport as not just a business, but as an individual as well. And you could find these out through contextual clues, like if they have a flag in front, like a LSU flag. Oh, do you like Joe Burrow? Do you like Jamar Chase? Do you like Livy Dunn? Whatever it is, right? But find that, and you can find that outside of their house, because sometimes a lot of people like to basically exasperate their personality outside of their property.
Hey, I noticed you like turtles. I'm a huge turtle lover. My first pet was actually a tortoise. I'm actually here for the estimate, the wash estimate. Talk to me. What's up?
And so make sure that you have spatial awareness within all of this stuff so that you can build rapport as an individual. And when you build rapport as an individual, they're more likely to believe in you. When they are more likely to believe in you, you have a likelihood of closing substantially more. So you're going in person, you're breaking the ice, and then you have relatability / rapport off the bat. Now, the Quity method of this is actually how I close these things, the exact process step by step. So let's get right into that.
If you guys are enjoying this thus far, make sure that you definitely subscribe. Let me get this off of the counter. Make sure that you definitely subscribe for more videos like this, and you guys keep enjoying.
Okay, this is the Quity method. And also I wanted to preface it with this, is that if you have the mindset that you are going to help them rather than sell them, it's going to be a lot easier for them to actually be closed. If you go in there and you're trying to make a friendship, it's going to be easier to close. Like you cannot apply this external pressure and this external thing that you have to close it, because people sense that. People sense pushiness. People sense inorganic and artificial bullshit. So you want to make sure that you are there to help them, and that will allow you to have a more thorough and more organic process throughout this entire segment. Okay, so the Quity method, the QWERTY. This is after the IBR. Very, very important. Okay, Q is the first question that you ask. This is talk to me, what's up? And then you also want to smile and leverage humor.
Talk to me, what's up?
You're talking to me that you called me about washing this entire property. Like, that's a lot of work. But you want to make sure that you are leveraging humor. You want to make sure that you are smiling. You got to ask that question once you already established breaking the ice and then the relatability of it. W is you're walking around with them. So say, hey, if you could just walk around with me and then give me just, an idea of what's going on, just the attention areas that you really, really want clean. It'll give you a better idea of what they're actually looking at, first of all. And then while you're walking with them, you want to be able to give them a brochure that they can hold on to with your additional services. It's one of the first things.
Hey, here's a brochure with all of our different services. Here you go. Yes. And just walk with me. Just kind of show me some of the attention areas that need to really be cleaned.
The reason behind that is because then you can absolutely leverage packages to be able to get into that higher ticket realm, which is extremely important, and I'll go over that in a quick second. E is engage. So they have this brochure and they're basically looking at all of these different services, and so you have an iPad, an iPhone, or a computer, etc., to be able to show them before afters of those services as well. But this is the thing. You say, oh wait, did you see that real quick? And you're also just listening to them. You're listening to their concerns as well, but you pinpoint some of the stuff that you may be able to clean as well. Okay, some of the mentality perspective of this is that if you go in there, you believe in your service, you have conviction within your voice, and that you are a very reputable individual / business, that you will be able to close this, and that they will be able to trust you to make their exterior as perfect as possible. Okay, so you're helping them create this visual and illustrate a perfect picture of what their exterior should look like. So it'd be a disservice to not show them if they have dirty windows or dirty gutters or dirty concrete. If they're just inquiring about a house wash, it'd be a disservice for you and your business and for them as well.
Right there. And then also it comes off really, really nice. So definitely consider that. Yeah, we're going to give you a couple of different options for you as well. Give you a really good deal.
R is react with a quote. Okay, so I'm going to be back. Just, give me a quick second. I'll formulate your estimate. It'll be like 5-10 minutes. Cool. Thumbs up emoji. Great. Right? Make them laugh. Make them smile. Keep that as a constant variable. Right? If you are a very happy individual, if you're pretty funny, I always kind of put this in this sense. But if you can make a girl laugh, you have a very high likelihood of being able to close with her. All right. So the same thing with the customer, right? In a completely different narrative. All right. T is you're going to the table. So you come back with your estimate, and if you could sit them inside of their own table, this is a highly important environment that they feel comfortable in, and they're also, if you can get inside, that you have done a very good job as building rapport as a believable individual. So if you can't sit them at the table, okay, whatever. But this is kind of the selling process that I go through, is you have these options and you have them line item by line item. They want to see it from a visual perspective because the majority of people are visual learners. Let me repeat this. You want to have a visual line item by line item because people are visual learners. And you want to have 3 separate package options. So if they just inquired about the house wash, you want to have a separate option as the house wash, windows, and concrete. And then the third, you have to put every service that you have, because you have not if you ask not. And if they want everything clean as a full package option, then you just, even if they don't want it, offer it. Just do it. Trust me. So one of the first questions that I always ask them whenever I'm presenting this price point is, or not even questions, it's a statement. I'm going to scare you with this initial price, but I've got a really good deal for you. All right. I'm just going to scare you with this price. Trust me, but I've got a really good deal for you. Okay. So you're starting off from the biggest, your full property wash, and you're going to the smallest. What this does is this leverage price anchoring in order for them to be able to, like, dang, that's a really good deal. And you can really go down a little bit too, especially when you prepare them for a gasp, because you want to make sure that they gasp at that initial price point. Like, whoa, that's a lot. That's, $5,000 for that full property wash. But I've got a really good deal for you as well. Okay. Price anchoring, it's done everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And you are giving them an amazing deal as well, because you could also be like, hey, this is going to be $5,000, but for you, I've got you right here. We could do it for $4,000, etc. Or we could do this for $4,500. And then that also does is if they're just inquiring about the house wash, they really want the house wash, and they get hit with this $5,000 price point, and then the house wash is $600. That looks a lot smaller than $5,000. You're able to close a lot more effectively if that $600 is your highest price point. Just the psychological effect of that, if you go from $200, $400 to $600, that $600 is going to look like a lot. But if you go from $5,000 to $600, that $600 is not that much. And if you go to the middle package, which is like $1,500, $5,000 to $1,500 doesn't look like a lot. Like, it looks like a pretty solid difference, but $1,500 doesn't look like a lot. So I want to make sure that they gasp at that price point. And some of your sales guys should be like, you should have heard the gasp on that one. Like, straight up. And then whenever you present all of this stuff, you can't be scared. You have to have a certain intonation of your voice. You have to actually believe in the service, because if you do not believe in the service, and if you don't think that you're helping people, then it's going to, I promise you, people do sense that stuff.
Look, I'm going to scare you with this initial price point, all right? Don't be afraid. I've got a really cool deal for you. We did Nicolette's house. We did Shapiro's house. We did Nicole's house. So I got a cool neighborhood deal for you. These are going to be the 3 options for you. And so let's get right into it. So the first option that I've got for you is the full gist, the full property wash. It's from the top, from the bottom. It's the house, it's the gutters, it's the windows, it's the roof. It is the concrete, everything that you could possibly imagine. It's going to be listed off at $5,000. Here's your second option, which is just the house. It's the concrete, and it is the windows. That's going to be listed off at $1,500. If you just want to do the house, it's going to be $650. What I can do for you, truly, I know that you look at this $5,000, you're like, whoa, this is like too much. It's crazy, right? We already did their house. They left us a good review. So what we can do is we go over here, we crank it out for $4,200, and you're going to love it, trust me. What do you think?
So, once you present that, why? You say, what do you think? And then you shut up. You don't say anything. You shut up. And there's going to be this like awkward silence or awkward tension that you may be projecting, because it's going to feel uncomfortable initially. And more times than not, they say yes. Assuming that you do a lot of these things right, if they don't say yes, then you probably messed up somewhere and you got to go analyze the chessboard, right? I'll go over objections in a completely different video, but a lot of the times I don't even like the objections are pretty minimal. But I'll go over it in a different video. But if you go about this process correctly, ethically, and you really believe in your service, you will close. So that's the Quity method for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
I hope you enjoyed that. That was awesome. You guys can definitely go out there, duplicate, emulate that model, and be able to close on that thing. So, guys, winners win, losers lose. And if you want to win, definitely subscribe. I'm posting every Tuesday, Friday at 5:15 Central Standard Time. You guys keep killing it. Good luck, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.